Hello everybody, and welcome to this video about setting up the Kurzweil K2700 and similar Kurzweil keyboards. I'm setting up sounds on my K2700 for a new band and playlist, and as you know, in a small band a keyboard player has to cover a lot of ground, which might include piano, electric piano, organ, synth, orchestral sounds, maybe percussion, maybe special effects, and that usually requires you to have more than two hands. So to mitigate this, I'm going to show you how to set up pads to play some of the notes and some of the chords, which frees you up during performance. I'm going to start with the multis already set up for these songs, and then for one I'm going to add a pad to play a sustained note, and on the other song I need two chords, so I'm going to set up two pads with one chord each that I can play more easily. The first song is Lovely Day by Bill Withers, and there's a long sustained string note in the chorus, which I could play with one finger while doing other things underneath, but I think it'll be easier to set up on a pad and leave it going. The second song is You Got a Friend, and it's the brand new heavies version, and there's a couple of synth chords which occur only in the intro. Didn't want to waste keyboard space just for two chords which I never use again, so that's why I figured I'd set up a pad for each chord. So let's start with the first song, Lovely Day, and this is what I've got set up, and it starts with the strings, as you know. And so on, and then the electric piano joins in, so I'll move that zone. And so on. So I don't want to play too much in case I get into copyright problems with YouTube. So let's go about setting up the sustained string note on a pad. We'll start editing this multi. You can see I've got the electric piano set up to a certain range, up to the B5, and I've got strings set up to G sharp 4 because I want a little bit of clear electric piano in the upper octave there. I've also got horns set up for a little riff in the pre-chorus, things like that. So we're going to go to the controls page to set up our pad, and first of all we need to select zone 2 because that's where the strings already are. I'm going to reuse that string pad. Now we're on zone 2 now. Now to edit the pad as a controller, the shortcut to that is to hold the enter key down and then press the pad you want. I'm choosing 13 because it's the closest to my hands when I'm playing the keyboard. So currently it's off. We need to change that to not a MIDI controller, but there's the notes chord option, which is the one we want. Now the type is toggled because I want to press it once to switch the note on and once to switch it off when I've finished with it. The other option is momentary, so we're going to have it toggled. Now velocity set at auto will respond to the velocity with which you hit the pad. I found that was a bit variable when I was reaching out to hit the pad, so I figured that I would set a constant velocity of around 95, which means that the sound is an even volume. Then we need to set the note we're going to play, and once again the shortcut for that on the K2700 is to hold the enter key and then press the key you want to play. So enter key down and press the B. And that has set the note to play on pad 13, I hope. So let's save that, save and exit, and then when we press the pad, there it is, and it carries on until we switch off. And so I can start it at the beginning of the chorus. And so on. It's going to require some dexterity to do that, but I think it's possible and I have practiced it. Now you have to note that the pad is playing zone 2, and so if you turn the zone 2 volume down or if you mute it, then that affects the pad as well, and so you may be affecting your single note. So that's how you set up a pad to turn a note on and turn it off. I'm going to move to the other song now, which is You've Got a Friend, and I've got that set up on 5621. So there's You've Got a Friend, and for this song I've got a pad set up in the left hand and organ on the right, because that's what most of the song needs. And so if we edit that, then you can see what we've got there. Now on zone 3 I've got the synth sound that I want to play, and I've set the keyboard range down to no range at all, so it doesn't play at all when I press normal keyboard keys. So the two synth chords that I want are 4 notes each, and we'll go and edit the controls page again and set them up. So we're already on pad 13 because I just used that for the other sound, but we need to select zone 3, and it's very easy not to do that. You end up editing pads or controllers on the wrong zone, so do remember to look at the zone that you're editing. So I want to set up the first chord on pad 14 because that's a higher chord, so we press the enter key and pad 14, and we want to set it to notes and chord again. Now this time I want them momentary because I want the chords to play only while I'm holding the pad and then turn off straight after I release it. I'm going to leave the velocity on auto in this one because I might want to use some expression at the time. So now we go to setting the notes, and there's 4 notes in each chord, and so for pad 14 I want F sharp 3, so I'm going to press enter and press that note, and then move to note 2, press enter, and that's going to be, just looking it up, G sharp 3, and move to the next note, and it's going to be B3, and move to the next note, and that's going to be D sharp 4. So you can hear other layers playing, that doesn't matter. It's not going to come out when we've saved all of this. So I'm going to save that and exit, and there's our first chord. So going back into edit, controls, back to zone 3, and in fact I've set the wrong note there. I thought it sounded a bit wrong, D sharp 4, so let's reset that. And we'll save and exit. And that sounds a bit better. So now if I hit the pad harder, you get more, and if I hit it softly, you get less. So that's because we set auto in the velocity. Let's edit again, controls page, zone 3, and this time we're going to set up pad 13. Once again we want note / chord, we want momentary, velocity auto, and this time the notes are going to be F3, G3, F3, G3, followed by A sharp 3, otherwise known as B flat, and C sharp 4. There we go, so let's save those, exit. There are our 2 chords, so I'm saving quite a few fingers by doing that, and I don't even need to place them on the keyboard, and I've saved some keyboard space by putting those on pads. So there you are, 2 different techniques there, which I hope are going to be useful in performance. I've prepared a PDF of the steps, which you can download from my Dropbox, that's linked in the comments below the video. As always, have a listen to music I've produced on my YouTube channel, some smooth jazz and a couple of experiments in ambient tracks, and there'll be more in due course when I get time. I intend to produce some more videos for K2700 in the future, as I learn more about the bar stock architecture, and I have stuff which I think might be useful to share with others. So thank you for listening to the end, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.